Prices are climbing faster than ever in the UK, and for some people, it's a shock the moment they land here. Just listen to this.
So you seen my video saying that the meal deal's gone up from £3 to £3.60. Now it's £4. I literally can't believe this. I've only been in England for 2 months after being away for like 3 years, and it's £4.
No, I've literally just been here for 2 months and they've gone up in price again.
I know inflation is a thing, but come on, like, this is ridiculous.
You won't believe what £10.50 gets you in the UK these days, and no, it's not a full grocery bag. Watch this.
Right, honestly, I just went to the shop. Do you know what cost me £10.50? Let me show you. Bread, cheese, ham, hot sauce, butter, and some pepper. This cost me £10.50. Something needs to change with these food prices. Look, I didn't even think I was that poor, but brother, I'm at the cash point, I'm thinking, oh, £6, £7, £10.50, and it was with a club card. To be honest, it's in cheese, mate. Like, this was £3.35. Butter was £2. That's half the shop there. Look, that's what £10 now gets you in the UK.
Imagine spending over £100 on a single grocery trip, and most of it is just snacks. Welcome to the UK in 2025.
So I went shopping this morning to Tesco to get some shopping, and this whole thing cost me £117. Am I being dramatic? But I think that is awful for what you get. The fruit was reduced, that there for the dog to have with her yogurt. The bowls, they were all on reduced to clear. The small ones were £1.10 and the big ones were £1.75, I think it was. But I got the last ones from there. Most of these are just snack things. Yogurt, milkshakes, apple juices, oranges. Crazy. What do you think?
When £80 can barely get you enough for a few meals, you know something's seriously wrong. Watch this.
Right, can someone explain to me why things are getting so expensive? Because for £80, this is what I've got. Like, it's not even a full shop. It's like a refill shop. And that was 80 quid. I mean, I think the most expensive thing there were the Diet Cokes, which was £7.50. But, and some chicken, £4. What the hell is going on with UK prices at the moment? How are families supposed to afford to feed their families when, I mean, that was 80 quid and it was a refill shop, and I couldn't even I could probably make about 4 meals out of that if I tried with creativity.
The UK's latest inflation figures are out, and they spell even more pain for your weekly food shop.
As if things couldn't get more expensive, there's more bad news for our wallets as the UK inflation figures have just been released. And get this, food prices have risen for the 6th month in a row. According to the British Retail Consortium, food inflation has shot up to 4% this month. That's compared to 3.7% in June. I mean, that's not just a little bump, that's a serious hike. The main reasons quoted for the rise: a global supply chain squeeze and an increase in taxes from last year's budget. But the bad news, it doesn't stop there, as get this, it's expected to get worse, as they're warning us that any upcoming tax increases in the autumn could push prices even higher. I mean, can you imagine paying even more for your weekly shop? Staples like meat and tea are taking the biggest hits, so if you're like me, fueled by caffeine and protein, then you might want to budget a little bit more. So how are you planning to tackle these price rises? Let me know in the comments.
When your fridge is almost empty and a full shop feels impossible, this is the reality for many in the UK right now.
You guys wouldn't think that I want to budget today because look at this shit.
Yeah, give me.
I think this is what happens when you haven't had. If you guys saw my fridge is absolutely empty. I literally emptied my entire fridge. When I say empty, literally empty. There is like absolutely nothing left in my fridge. Even my freezer, I think it only has ice lollies in my freezer. My cabinet only has like ketchup, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce,
cream, sugar, flour, what my fridge is, some grapes, a little bit of fruit. And that's basically it. Like, I've literally been trying to avoid the grocery shop just so I could see it. But here I am, doing a big shop and just shit lasting the next 2 months because I will literally eat everything until it's gone. We will have tuna fish sandwiches on garlic bread, which is really good, by the way. You guys should try it. But yeah, anyway, let's see how much this comes to. Bye, guys.
When even plastic bags start feeling like luxury items, you know the cost of living crisis has gone too far.
Hey, I've just been to the supermarket and I've nearly had a heart attack. I've got a trolley full of shopping, so I need some bags. You don't expect the bags to cost as much as the shopping in the trolley. Oh, this little baby here, guess how much? Go on, put it in the comment section down below. 65p. See it, the screenshot here. 65p for a bag. Wow. I don't normally come to Aldi. I normally go to Sainsbury's because you can get those bags for free. You're meant to scan them, but shh, don't tell anybody. They don't guard them like they do at Aldi. At Aldi, you can't get away with them not scanning them. You have to put them on the till and they scan them. 65p. How? Why? They used to be free. I mean, you can get the cheaper ones from there, but they're like one-ply toilet paper. You know, you put your finger through it and you end up inspecting your own arse. Those bags just rip. They are not holding any shopping at all. I might start selling these bags on the black market, you know, go to Sainsbury's, get them for free, and put them on eBay. Sell them cheaper than the supermarkets are selling them. Make myself about £5 a day, that'll feed my crack habit. But honestly, why are these bags so expensive? If you know, let me know. And if you say it's to save the environment, I'm gonna block you. I'm sick of hearing that. They're putting the prices up on everything to save the environment. If you want to save the environment, plant more of these things, these little green trees here. It's not rocket science, is it? Fucking plastic bag shouldn't cost the same amount as 3 tins of beans, should it? When people are struggling to eat, you've got a choice between a plastic bag or 3 meals. This country's let me off. So let me know what you think. Safe.
From overpriced coffee to £6 tins of tomatoes, this is what grocery shopping in the UK looks like right now.
Is anyone having a good time doing the food shop? Seriously, any top tips for making that an enjoyable experience? I've just come back from Tesco. I look like I've returned from the front line. I understand it's important to feed myself, put nutritious meals into my body and all of that. 75 quid? And the majority of it's probably only going to last me till Friday. It is more financially viable to starve. I mean, I tried out that Scan As You Shop. I've never felt so thick in all my life. I spent half the time at the scales printing off me individual labels for me bloody fruit and veg. It was so busy and I was so overstimulated I had to put my headphones around my neck. Everyone could probably hear Stay Another Day by E17 blaring out me Sonys, but I can hardly afford noise cancelling or AirPods when I'm paying £200 for 2 chicken breasts.
Welcome to another episode of Why is Tesco so freaking expensive? I'm sorry, 2 donuts for £3.10. Are you having a laugh? Why is it so expensive? Oh yeah, and with your 2 donuts for £3.10, let's get some maple syrup that's £6.90. Honestly. Yeah, and let's have a nice drink of really shit coffee, Nescafe, for £7.90. £8 a jar for that crap. That is insane. I'm sorry, but that is just, I mean, that is rank. £7.90. I mean, who's buying this crap? Breakfast tea, £6.90. Insane. Insane. Who's got money for this? Then you got olive oils. £8.65. £6.40. £7.30. Honestly. What a time to be alive, eh? What a time to be alive. Charlie Bingham's fish fry, £11.50. £10.50 for a chicken tikka masala. What? Tiny little lasagna, £7.45. Like, who buys this shit? Who buys this? Who's got the money for this? Because I haven't. And sorry, just one last thing I spotted. £6.40 for 6 tins of tomatoes. I mean, I know they're really good Italian tomatoes, but £6.40. That's insane. Insane.
I don't know if you guys have seen that food inflation is set to rise to 5.5% by Christmas. And this is actually kind of a good thing. Because obviously they cut interest rates yesterday by 0.25%, which is going to promote more people spending, less people saving. The more people spend, prices increase because demand increases. And the flip side to this is that there's going to be more economic growth, possibly more jobs. My aim I'm saying my aim. I don't know why I said my aim. My focus is on jobs, to be fair. I'd rather have higher food prices but more job than these same food prices and this same job market. So I'm taking it as a positive, but it's still wild, guys. 5.5%. Meal deals being £3 is such a thing of the past. Your meal deal is probably going to cost £4 by next year. Like,
Ever wondered how much more you're paying for the same groceries compared to when you were a kid? This will blow your mind.
I want to compare food prices from back when we were kids to what they are now, and it is actually shocking. But these things have like tripled in price. Basically, I've just seen this video from Lavish Absy, and just look at this. So first of all, we've got an original Coke. Back in 2002, it was £1.18. In 2025, it's £2.55. So in my entire lifetime, I was born in 2001, it's just doubled in price, basically, over doubled in price. Red Bulls used to be 88p in 2002. Yeah, they're now £1.75. Again, over doubled it. That is actually mental. If you want a 10 bird's-eyed codfish fingers, back in 2002 it was £1.48. Yeah, now it's £4. It's almost tripled in price. Kellogg's cornflakes in 2002, they were 98p for a box. Yeah, they're now £3.30 for a box. I don't even need to do the maths on that one. That is over 3 times more. Absolutely insane. Silver spoon sugar in 2007 was 79p. Now in 2025 it's £1.09. That's actually not that much considering the price of all the other ones. If you're gonna buy steak mince in 2007, it was £1.40. Now it's £3.79. Again, another one that's almost tripled in price. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments.
Has anybody else noticed the rampant food inflation in the UK? In April, I paid £9.40 for 2 organic rump steaks. The same steaks are now £12.60. Because Tesco club cards, Nectar points, etc. are an absolute nightmare for food inflation. As of 4 days ago, UK food inflation unexpectedly rose to about 4.5%. Mind you, the general benchmark for inflation in the UK is 2.5%. Now, of course, there's going to be lots of factors as to why food inflation is high, but I actually do like the fact that that person called out the whole Nectar points, club card prices thing in particular, because that system is so bad for consumers. These supermarket companies are effectively saying there are 2 tiers of pricing, and to be able to have the normal level of prices, give us your data, because obviously when you sign up for a club card or something like that, you need to exchange some of your personal data, and they track, you know, what is it that you shop, etc., etc. And I'm like, that just doesn't seem good for consumers, and I understand why some people have actually spoken out about this, including people like Martin Lewis.
Inflation in the UK is actually a joke, because why is a 5-pack of mini potato waffles £4 in Morrison's? The game is well and truly gone. So basically, I've just seen this video from Emma T. She's obviously gone to the shop, she's gone to Morrison's, she's gone to the bakery section, just to have a browse like we all do, and she's come across this. Bird's Eye mini potato waffles 5-pack for £4 Great British pounds. Are we being serious now? How is that allowed to even happen? I get that inflation's a thing, right? I get that things get more expensive over time. It's something that's happened, you know, with Freddos, for example. We're used to it now. That is a joke. That is an absolute daylight robbery. They just look like normal potato waffles as well. Like, there's nothing special about them. For £4, I expect my potato waffle to make me fart out rainbows. I'll tell you what. That is just extortionate. Like, why? That's almost a whole pound for a potato waffle. A whole pound. As a kid, like, I used to live off of these things pretty much at one point. I never personally bought them. I was a child. I'm assuming my parents must have paid like £1. Like £1.50 at most for like a whole pack of them, not just 5 of them in this little box. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments.
UK food inflation just hit an 11-month high. Bread, meat and fish are getting more expensive again. But what's behind the latest price rise? According to new data from the British Retail Consortium, food prices rose 2.6% in April compared to last year, up from 2.4% in March, the fastest pace since May 2023. But why now? A big part of the story is higher employment costs for retailers. This month, UK businesses were hit with a rise in national insurance contributions and a higher minimum wage, which many are now passing on through higher prices. Helen Dixon from the RBC said prices for essentials like bread, meat and fish all increased last month. And it's not just food. Non-food price deflation also slowed significantly, suggesting we might be nearing the end of falling shop prices altogether. Overall, shop prices were just 0.1% lower than a year ago, the smallest drop since summer 2024. Now, this spike in food inflation comes ahead of official CPI data expected on May the 21st. It's also a blow to low-income households who spend a bigger share of income on basic goods. And while we're far from the double-digit inflation of 2023, when Russia's invasion of Ukraine drove global prices sky high, this uptick is still a warning sign. The Bank of England says rising labour costs might be the key driver now, and businesses may keep raising prices to stay afloat. So is this the start of a second wave of inflation or just a temporary economic blip? As always, follow for more updates.
The big news of today is about inflation, and specifically about food price inflation, i.e. how much everyday items are going up by in price daily, monthly, yearly. And you may have noticed that every time you go to the shops, it's costing you more to buy less. And the latest data out today just shows how bad that is. Overall UK inflation is still over 10%. That is more than most experts thought that it would be. Why? Mainly because of food inflation. Now, nearly 20% on a year-on-year basis. That means your shopping basket, the average shopping basket, is going up in price by a fifth on a yearly basis. And that is the highest level, the highest rate of increase since 1977 for 45 years. Forget all of the frippery of politics. That is all of politics. And unless Rishi Sunak can find a way of sorting it out, and quick, he will almost certainly be out of number 10.
Here's a quick one. You're going to love this. Or you'll definitely relate to it. So coming from work on Friday, and I said to the missus, we're going to go and get some bits to last us 5 or 6 days from Aldi. 110 quid. This was Friday. Comes in from work yesterday, we need to go to Aldi. What? Yeah, run out of food. So we go to Aldi, and I said, we'll spend about 50 quid. Just get a few bits for the next couple of days. Kids' school stuff, a couple of things for work and stuff like that. And then when it comes to Friday, we'll get another shopping. 85 quid we spent yesterday. And it was a small trolley, and that wasn't even full. That's £185 since Friday in Aldi. And I don't think this food will last until Wednesday or Thursday at least. Slowly but surely, the shopping bill just increases without you even knowing it. Greed again. We're getting over.
Cost of living crisis unpicked. So I just went to Aldi to do a top-up shop, and since when was a top-up shop £50? £50? I'm not even joking. Excuse the state of me, but I actually can't cope. Where am I going wrong? And I know I did a TikTok about this a few months ago, but where on earth am I going wrong? Food is just astronomical. It's inflated now weekly, and I'm really, really, really starting to notice it. And I didn't think it could go up any more than it did. So this is what I got for £50. It's literally nothing. Bread, squash, kitchen towel. I won't scrimp on kitchen towel because I don't want to use 100 sheets to mop up one spill or clean one window. Egg fried rice. We do normally boil our own. Adam wants to try something that he's seen on TikTok, so I don't know. Onions, because you can't buy one, you have to buy 3. So I'm going to try and use these in a lot of dinners. Some cereal. Coffee pods were £1.99 and now they're £2.09. And I think they used to be £1.79. Some Chinese style seasoning. Cupboard staples for lunches and quick dinner. Spaghetti hoops and some beans, some peanut butter. 2 cans of Red Thunder. Eggs. It's actually more expensive now to make your own Yorkshire puddings than it is to buy the pre-made. £2.50 I think these were. I'll check on the receipt. Mixed herbs, strawberries. We're a family of 4 and I've got 2 girls that have on packed lunches. So I've got strawberries, bananas, oranges and kiwis. They were an impulse because they were 50% off. But I'm also going to make them into a pudding as well for a treat after dinner. Some fig rolls as a snack. Really needed these. And then literally just a few snacky bits. Nothing major, as you can see. And then in terms of dinner stuff, I needed them because we're trying to do a stir fry. Mashed potato because I can make my own, but I really CBA tonight. And then a cottage pie because my daughter had a showcase this week and it's about a 40-minute drive. It's about a 40 to an hour round trip. and you have to wait in the car as well for an hour and a half while she's in there. So yeah, the convenience. And to be honest, I don't think it's much cheaper now to make your own. I know I did a TikTok on it, and there is ways around it, but you've got to have the time to do it. And every week, I don't have the time to do it. Some mashed potatoes, make chips, roast potatoes, etc. This isn't like a weekly shop. This is literally a top-up shop. And some Yorkshire puddings. But yeah, I know I've showed quite a lot of hacks and tips and tricks on what to do in order to save a little bit of money. But one, if time's not really on your side, and secondly, food's continuing to rise, I just don't know what is going on. And I just want to know what you guys think. Hello, I don't know how well this video is going to go because you're currently balancing on my steering wheel. But I wanted to rant, yeah? So, I don't know why I sounded so then. I wanted to rant because since when did food shopping get so expensive? And I've been doing food hauls and I've been coming to Aldi for years, yeah? And and today I'd class it more as a top-up shop, not quite a weekly shop because I've not got a 7-day meal plan in there. I literally bought 2 roast chickens and some meatballs, snacks, some fruit, some veg, nothing extravagant. It's only £70. Remember I used to fill my trolley for 65. Fuming. Cost of living crisis is an absolute joke now. Like, I've noticed it's gone up in the last like 3 to 6 months. We all have, soz. But I feel like it's rapidly gone up since Christmas. Ridiculous. And I just wanted to come on here and rant because I needed to rant to somebody. There's nothing we can really do about it, and I refuse to eat poorly, if that makes sense. You need a bit of fruit and veg in your diet, don't you? And you need to have those little luxuries where you pay a little bit more because it's a little bit nicer. But this is at Aldi. I dread to think. To be fair, Tesco's do a pretty good price match as well, to be fair. They're all, I'd probably say, on par. I think in general everything's just gone up, and I'm not feeling it.
Asda, and this small bag cost me £75. I'm so sorry, but send help. Getting fresh fruit, fresh veg, all of that good stuff is so expensive. But anyways, I literally make probably like 90% of my baby's food from scratch, but this is an outrage. This is crazy. Obviously there's some wipes in there and stuff, and I got him a couple toys, but them toys cost me like £10. This is an outrage.
So guys, I had to stop so we could talk about an important topic, yeah? Why is food always more than £10? Like, why can I not get a meal for less than £10? Like, I went to my local flipping Cuban, Dominican, like it's a South American place. I went there, 19 booth for lunch. Like, yeah, cool. There's different stuff, but this was £11. This stuff was £9 before. So what's actually going on? Like, who are we rushing collectively to bring down the prices? Because the salary is maintained, but the cost of living, the cost of eating has increased.
What's going on with UK charity shop prices? I just went to the one up my road. They were selling a used Primark hoodie for £20. That's double what it costs brand new. It used to be that I'd go into this shop and buy a dead man's entire spring capsule wardrobe for 20p, and now I'm getting credit checked to buy a Primark zip job. Slash the prices and we'll get back to supporting good causes.
Hey, quick question. Is anyone else feeling like what the actual going on? Or is that just me?
So food prices could rise even higher by Christmas in the UK, and supermarkets and retailers are going to rise them again. What a surprised. This come up yesterday, I've only just seen it. But what a disgrace. Food prices already rocketed. What, now you've got to put it up again in the winter? I presume the gas and electric will go up in the winter as well, because that's when everyone uses it, and that's when people eat more because it's colder, so you need more food in your stomach. You don't tend to eat as much in the summer, and you don't tend to use as much gas and electric in the summer. Crafty fucks. What are the government doing about it? And these greedy thieves at these retailers and supermarket chains are absolute disgrace. There's already child poverty over here. There's pensioners starving and shivering to death. What more are you gonna do to people?
You won't believe what you would have been paying in 2023 versus 2025 for these 5 major food items. Iceberg lettuce. In 2023 you would have been paying 70p for an iceberg lettuce versus 98p in 2025. That's a 40% increase in the price because extreme weather caused by climate change has disrupted harvests at home and abroad. The same for carrots. In 2023, a kilogram of carrots would have cost 62p. In 2025, you're paying 83p. That's a 33.87% rise in the price of carrots. The same for cucumber. In 2023, a cucumber would have cost 73p. In 2025, you're paying 93p. That's a 27.4% rise in the price of a cucumber. The same for peppers. In 2023, a kilogram of peppers would have cost 86p. In 2025, you're paying £1 and 3p. That's a 19.77% rise in the price of peppers. And the same for cauliflower. In 2023, a cauliflower would have cost £1 and 6p. In 2025, you're paying £1 26p. That's an 18.87% rise in the price of a cauliflower. Courgettes, onions, broccoli, tomatoes and mushrooms have also had significant price rises in the last 2 years. Extreme weather caused by climate change is driving these price rises. If we don't tackle climate change, will our food get even more expensive?
The food prices in the UK are disgusting, really. I bought a few bits the other day, and most of the stuff I bought had gone up £1, £1.50, and this is on items that used to be like £2, £2.50, and now like £3.50, £4, £3.75, and people go, oh, it's only £1, £1.25 extra. I'm like, that's 50%. And when you're buying 40, 50, 60 items in a month, that puts up your bill by about 50, 60 quid. No wonder people ain't got no I bought this the other week. I've been buying this again. 100 grams of the old Kenko. It's a real small coffee. It used to be £2 in Iceland. It's £3.60, £4 everywhere for the smallest jar of coffee. And then people go get the cheap stuff. I don't want to get the cheap stuff. It's crap. I like that one. Do you know what I mean? And I noticed even in Iceland with the frozen food, the fish used to be about £3.50 for 4 decent sized bits. The fish has got smaller and they're charging a £5. Same with the chicken. They've taken more chicken out of the packages and charging you £1.50 more for the convenience. No wonder people are going to food banks. Not everyone's millionaires that they can afford £1.50 extra on this, £1.25 extra, and it's basic items. I'd understand it if they went up 20, 30p, but on basic items to go up like £1.50 and all that within a few months. And they're still putting the prices up now. You're going, it's £3.75, gone up like £1.50 in the space of a few months. I guarantee you next month they'll push that to £4 and etc, etc, etc. I've stopped buying certain things because I think it's a rip-off. You get less food in the packaging and you're paying more. It's a disgrace. And what the government doing about this? Nothing, like they do with everything else. Shit. What's your thoughts on all the prices of these small items going up 50, 100%? I think it's totally out of order. It's not helping people get out of the shit, and it's putting more pressure on families, pensioners and single people and single mums and dads. Totally out of order.
I've got the receipt from my Aldi shopping basket from 3 years ago, so let's check what the exact same basket costs today. So these Aldi Vag Fresh mints were £1.29 3 years ago. The exact same bag of these super tangy mints cost me £2.72 yesterday. That's a 44% increase. A 6-pack multi-pack of these cock bacon crisps cost me 99p 3 years ago. The same bag of cock bacon yesterday was £1.79. That's a 66% increase. 3 years ago I could get 6 big vaginas for £2.99. But today, just 3 years later, those same 6 big vaginas set me back £4.49. 3 years ago today, this bag of din din fuck chow costs £1.29. Yesterday, the same din din fuck chow cost £2.99, an incredible 200% increase. And I got a 500-gram bag of poo for 99p just 3 years ago. That same bag of poo is £1.99 today. No wonder my universal credit's gone the same day I'll get it.